Right, guys, you should have picked up the review at the door as you came in, and I'm going to go through the review. As I do this, you need to be taking down the notes so that you can use this review on the quiz, and you need to remember that to be looking stuff up in your spiral so you know where things are. All right, the first question has the figure drawn for you. Some of the ones on the quiz are already drawn for you. Some you have to graph both the image and the pre-image and the image. So this notation FNC is the pre-image before we do anything. Whoa! If we reflect across the x-axis, the rule is that we change the sign on the y coordinate. All right, so those ordered pairs become f prime. The -3 stays, the 1 becomes negative. The n prime becomes -1 and the -3. And the c prime becomes 0, -2. So we go left 3 down 1, left 1 down 3, across 0 and down 2, and it should look like it flipped upside down across this x-axis. Make sure you label them f prime, n prime, and c prime. I don't care if you don't list the ordered pairs on the quiz as long as the graph is accurate. All right. If you need to pause the video to get everybody caught up with that, that's fine, but I'm going to move on. All right, number 2 says across the y-axis, the rule for y-axis in your folder, your spiral, is to change the sign on the x. So m prime would change this -1 to a 1. This would stay. E prime would change the sign on the x, which stays 0, okay? And j prime would change the sign on the x and keep the current y value. So E is actually not going anywhere because we're reflecting across this y-axis. M is going to move over here at 1, -3 and become m prime. And J is going to go left 4 and down 4. 4, not 5, okay? So it's going to look like this. It should look like it flipped right to left, okay? And again, make sure you're labeling as you go. Make sure you're labeling the new ones with the little primes. All right, number 3 doesn't give you either one, and that's the case on the quiz. Some of them you have to graph both the pre-image and the image. So I'll do the pre-image in red. Left 4 and up 2 is R. Left 3 and down 3 is B. Left 3 and up. So I just did that wrong. No, that's not the first time. Okay, left 4 and up 2. Left 3 and up 3. There we go. And left 3 and up 0. That looks better. Okay, that's your pre-image. Then I'll do the image in blue. The image says to translate, which means slide. A +3 on the x is going to move everything to the right 3. And a +1 on the y values is going to move everything up 1. You have to know that for the part of the multiple choice part of the quiz. So all of these we're going to add 3. And all the y's we're going to add 1. Okay, so the new r prime will be -1, 3. The new b prime will be 0, 4. And the new a prime will be 0, 1. So left 1 and up 3. across 0 and up 4, and across 0 and up 1. So it should look like it slid right 3 and up 1. Okay? Be real accurate on your graphs, and again, make sure you label everything. You do have to do both the pre-image and the image. All right, hopefully, pause the video if you need to get caught up, but I'm going to keep going. All right, this is one even I have to look in my foldable. 90-degree rotation. So you have two different foldables on rotations. One is a single flap, and then one is the one that has a whole bunch of stuff on the front, like all different flaps, and one of them says rotations. But 90 degrees says x, y becomes negative y, x. Okay. What this means is x keeps the sign, and y moves to the front and changes sign. It doesn't mean negative. It means whatever it was, you have to change the sign on the y. So A, the 0 is going to move to the back, and the 3 is going to move to the front and change sign. The K, the 0 is going to move to the back, and the 5 is going to move to the front and change the sign. This one, both 5s, but the back 5 moves to the front and changes sign. The X that was a 5 just moves to the back and stays a 5. So we're going left 3 and up 0 for A, left 5 and up 0 for K prime, sorry, that should be A prime, and left 5 and up 5 for J prime. All right, let me renumber those. This was J prime up here. This one was K prime. This one was A prime. Now, it should look as though you had a flag here on a blue stick, and it fell over 90 degrees this way, and now it's laying on its side over here. Okay? All right, if you need to pause again, do so, but I'm going to move on, talk about these kind. Well, actually, I'm going to go back here a second. The other one that I think might be on the quiz is 180-degree rotation, which says here's x, y, and you take the opposite of x and the opposite of y. You change the signs on both. So if they're positive, they become negative. If they're negative, they become positive. I think that one might be on the quiz. All right. The rest of the quiz is multiple choice. You have to pick the right rule, though, so be very careful. Like, and yours aren't blue, okay? How do you know which one came first? Well, the one without a prime is the pre-image, and the one with a prime is the image. So this flipped from the top to bottom, and flip is really reflection. And it flipped over this axis, so it's across the X. And I don't know if it says X across or over or reflection in the X-axis, but pick the one that says X-axis and the word reflection. Number 6, remember this is the pre-image without the prime. The one with the prime is where it ended up. Okay, that's the image. So this is a translation or slide, but you're going to have to tell what happened. So this one went, if I just use this one, it went left 2 and down 1, left 2 and down 1. Any points you picked? Now, they're going to probably have a rule. So you would write the x went to the left 2 and the y went down 1, and you would have to look for this choice. Everybody okay? And I think I have one more example, maybe two. This is a rotation. If you connect this to where it used to be, it went all the way around here. Actually, I just drew that arrow the wrong way because it's supposed to rotate counterclockwise. Oh, that is counterclockwise. No, just kidding. It's 180. It's all the way across. And this one, remember it started down here. This is the pre-image. And this is where it ended up with the prime. So it went left 2 and up 2. And that is a translation, which means slide. And left 2 would be -2, and up 2 would be +2 on the y. Again, those are multiple choice, so it should be pretty easy to pick the right one. All right, so when you have this all filled out, you need to take your quiz. The things you need to remember are make sure you draw both the pre-image and image unless it's already drawn for you. Some of these are already done. Okay, label all your points, A, B, C, or if it's the new one, A prime, B prime, C prime, and so on. And on the multiple choice ones, make sure you know that the ones without the prime came first. So A was here, and then if it moved over here, this is now A prime, so you would say it went to the right and down or something. Okay? All right, good luck on your quiz, and I'll see you guys on Friday.